Yes, welcome along to episode 18 of Upping the Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch, counting down to the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. And that countdown, Gavin, is into the final week. 7 days to go until the Supreme. How do you even sleep at night?
Just you have to make sure you stay busy this week.
Yeah.
And to make sure that you only look at the exchanges twice a day and you only look at odds checker twice a day. This is actually our last kind of Tuesday up in the Ante.
Our last usual show?
Yes, our last usual. And you're going to give details now of two more that we're doing between next Tuesday. But so it's going to be a short week but a long week. So.
And you're flying out when?
Flying out Monday at 10:30 with Ryanair next Monday. So
drunk by 12.
we'll end up in Cheltenham by whatever 3:00. And sure, it'd be good crack.
Well, it's going to be great. And have we got a treat for you? Thursday night, our special Cheltenham preview. Up in the Ante style. Have we a guest? Have we what? Have we a guest? We have got Gary O'Brien. Gary O'Brien, the voice of Irish racing, is going to be here in this studio. So Gavin Lynch, Gary O'Brien, and the gentleman that is Pat Cooney from Bet365, these are all going to be here in the one place at the one time, Thursday night, for your pleasure only.
Gary is one of life's gentlemen, total lovely fella.
Yeah, but more importantly than that, I don't care if he's a gentleman or not. He's the bestest, shrewdest judge in Irish racing. Apart from you.
The bestest.
Bestest, my new word, yeah.
Yeah, lovely guy. Played golf with him a couple of times. Haven't met Pat Cooney yet, but Thursday should be good. And Sunday?
Thursday's going to be good. Don't forget to tune in Thursday night for an Up in the Ante special. Gary O'Brien, Gavin Lynch, Pat Cooney, David Jennings. What's not to like? And Sunday, myself and Gavin will be back on a screen near you Sunday night to go through all day one of the Cheltenham Festival. It's our final show before the festival gets underway. We're going to be with you Sunday night. We'll have the final decks. We'll have all our selections for day one. That's Sunday night, just to set the mood for Tuesday. But before then, Thursday night, Gary O'Brien is going to be in this studio. You can't miss it. Before that not to be missed party on Thursday night kicks off, we're going to have our usual show, Gavin, and our usual show, as ever, kicks off with our questions from the crowd. And the first question this week comes in from Adam Dixon, and it's a great one to start, Gavin.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, Adam wants to know, would you rather have a really good £5 or £7 claimer or Davy Russell on board a horse you fancy in a handicap at Cheltenham? Is Davy's experience better than the weight a claimer can take off a horse?
In 98% of cases, I would say definitely Davy Russell.
Would you?
I would, because you have to remember that all the handicaps are going to have probably 22 runners. I remember Ruby Walsh walking the course one time, and he said, just don't go down the inside, because you're turning so much, particularly on the old course, that if you turn around a bend...
Davy loves the inside. 3
horses can come in on top of you. I just think Davy's always in the right position. Look at the rides he gave horses last year and the year before. He seldom, if ever, gives a horse a bad ride.
Diamond King, Coral Cup, look it up. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but even Chosen Mate and 2 years ago, and the Storyteller, he got chinned for you in the Pretemps, but perfect ride. Always in the right position. The only time maybe it's worth putting in a £7 claimer is if you've got maybe a smaller horse who's carrying top weight. Something like a Sire de Berlay, who's going to have
Rob James taking off £7. Yeah.
So I can see the point of view there.
What about last year? Just say the Paddy Power Plate, the Shunter was a leading fancy, and Emmett Mullins and Paul Byrne had to decide, right, do we want a professional, an experienced pro who has been there, done it, or do we want the next big thing like Jordan Gainford? And they went for Jordan Gainford, and they were rewarded.
Yeah, no, I was chatting to Paul a week or two before, and he was asking lots of people's opinions, and I thought Jordan Gainford... Kind of. And I thought Jordan Gainford was definitely worth chancing, because I think he claimed 5 that day. And he just looks like he's a superstar, which he's going to be. So in the odd occasion, if you've got a superstar, or maybe you've got a horse carrying a large weight and he's not the biggest, you could see why. But as I said, in 98% of the time, Davy Russell, along with Ruby Walsh and Barry Garrett, he rides Cheltenham better than anybody else. And he just keeps that little bit for the hill, and he's amazing.
Amazing.
Yep.
So the correct answer is Davy Russell, really.
Correct.
Davy Russell, Adam. So our second question this week comes in from Nick Finnegan, and Nick wants to know, what were our most embarrassing and worst selections for the 2022 Cheltenham Festival so far, Gavin? So your list is running behind us here, and you can see some crackers, some very unlucky ones. I don't want your answer here to be Gallop in the Shams, because that was a brilliant selection.
No, that's
and could still happen. Or
Blazing Cal, or some of them that got injured and stuff like that. That's just, Ante-Post betting. You're going to have
absolutely
that every year.
But who, when you look at this list behind us here,
there's two
what embarrasses you?
There's 2 that I shouldn't have picked. One was Ginto for the Bartlett, because I was unsure. I just thought he was going to go for the Bartlett, but that proved to be wrong. So that I should have waited another week or 2 for that. But the one that probably is the most embarrassing is On Baton. Stop.
on Baton when the race at Cheltenham. Are you joking me?
Well, like he goes and bowls up in Punchestown. He travels brilliant to 4 out in Naas in the race that brought out Statler and so on and Fruit to Lend. Something definitely happened to him that day.
Is he still entered?
No. Like Willie said afterwards when he was talking about Statler, he said, he was asked about on Baton, he said, well, something must have happened to him. Because he was actually favoured, I think, at the 4th last, and the next thing, a furlong later, he'd gone. So I'd imagine something happened to him, but yeah.
Getting the excuses in. Yeah. So he's not useless anyway.
Maybe he
Don't
is.
give
up. Yeah, maybe this time next year he might be different.
Okay, you gave 2, I'll give 2 as well. And my first one is in the National Hunt Chase as well. The Boss's Oscar.
Well, I can see why you did.
Yeah, so can I, but I didn't know he jumped like, as Jerry Hannon would say, a bag of hammers.
He got worse and worse each time, didn't he?
He did. Oh my God.
He just got fed up jumping.
He did, yeah. It's like when you haven't ran in ages and you go for a run after Christmas and the first night back, you're like, geez, this is all right. And then the next 5 nights in a row, you're just dying. So he gradually deteriorated.
Yeah, his jump got worse. But at the time, I can see why you tipped it up.
Yeah, well, I can and I can't. I thought it was a desperate pick. The Boss Oscar in the National Hunt Chase. And my other one, looking back on it now, I took a chance on Might Eye for the Ballymore. But I knew at the time, like Willie and Henry, and there were so many good horses to come out. And I did take a chance. I knew he wasn't going to be absolutely, the best novice hurdler this year. But I think at the time he was 40-1 for the Ballymore. And I put him up deep down knowing he probably wouldn't be good enough. Yeah, but we'll come to him later on in the show.
You were going for a headline price.
I was going for a headline price, but they would be my 2. The Boss's Oscar and Might Eye would be the 2 that I'd be a little bit embarrassed about.
Yeah.
And on Baton for you.
Anyway, looking at the time, there's logic behind it, but
there is,
a month or 2 later, you can look silly.
Yeah. Like the time I backed Irving at a shorter price than Vautour for the Supreme.
Yeah.
That was quite embarrassing. There you
That's
go.
Horses.
That's our most embarrassing picks for the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. And our final question this week comes in from Aaron Farrier. And Aaron wants to know, Gavin, do us two need to change our approach to Cheltenham? Because Aaron says that we are just a couple of useless dinosaurs. He says half our tips aren't running and everything we say each week ends up not being true. Useless dinosaurs.
I resemble that comment, Dave. Yeah, sure, look at...
This hurts you now. I can see you're hurting.
Not at all. No. Well, people will always have opinions, particularly in social media and stuff like that. We've been caught out. It took 5 years for people to cop on.
I know. But all I can say, Aaron, is I'm not a stegosaurus anyway, because I know stegosaurus don't eat meat, and I couldn't survive without meat, Aaron.
Yeah.
But so do we need to change our approach, Gavin? Are you happy?
Well, I certainly won't anyway.
No.
Whether I do Upping the Ante for the rest of my life, or I'll certainly be doing Ante-Post punting at Cheltenham for as long as I'm above ground. So I love it. Usually find it profitable, so you have to keep doing what you believe in.
Absolutely. If you're successful at something in life, Gavin, don't change it.
But look, it's very hard picking horses out maybe November and December and do the get there and do the not. And it's a mixed bag, and you'll always have some silly ones.
Absolutely. And in fairness, Aaron, right? Gallop in the Shams for the Brown Advisory. If he goes there, he'll be a short price favourite. Blazing Cal for the Albert Bartlett if he went there. How are you to know that these horses are going to go for different races or
Very hollow and different ones?
It's a look at a draw, isn't it?
Yeah. I think of the 15 I've left, I think 9 of them are half the price that they were when we tipped them. So look, you're going to have...
Aaron, now.
You're going
I told you.
You're going to have good and bad, and you just have to live with it.
Couple of useless dinosaurs.
Yep.
That can be the name of next year's show. Upping the Ante with a couple of useless dinosaurs. So now it's time for the week that was here on Upping the Ante, and this is Gavin Lynch's chance to tell you all about the horses who've impressed him over the last 7 days. And that was the week that was for this week. My thanks to Gavin. Moving on to our... Was that funny? No? I thought that was funny.
It could be called the week that wasn't.
Yeah, I thought you could have laughed at my joke there.
Sorry.
You going the week that wasn't?
Yeah, go with the week that wasn't.
Did anything catch your eye? What I was trying to do there was say that it...
Do you remember Vernon Kay used to host Family Fortunes?
Yeah.
You
know who he's married to?
Who? Oh,
he's married to one that does the dancing, Strictly Come Dancing.
All right, very good. If Vernon Kay was doing this, he'd go, we surveyed 100 people. How many horses last week are going to win at Cheltenham? And the survey said... So there's literally 2 horses to mention. Cormier is one of them, and the other's not even going to Cheltenham. But Cormier won the Moore Battle on Saturday by a length and a half from St. Duro, won it off 134. New rating came out this morning at 138. And I'm not sure if he goes to the County Hurl, he might even be off 139. Does he go in with a £5 penalty instead of 4, perhaps?
What a great wood that was. Oh my God, the best great wood of all time.
Yeah. Decent horse, rated 79 the flat. He won in January over the course and distance of the Coral Cup, of the county back in January. He's 14-1, Ante-Post 12-1, non-runner, no bet with Bet365, so that's Cormier.
So
Wouldn't be for me, but...
The 100,000 bonus was done last year with the shunter, obviously, in the Paddy Power plate. But unlikely to be achieved this year?
I can't see. It'll run well, but I think there's too many unexposed.
Is that it?
No, I just want to mention Gentleman to Me, beat Grange Walk by 70 lengths in the Grade 3 Flying Bolt in Navan. Not going to Cheltenham, was second to Houghton Callura Christmas, so maybe his form got a slight boost.
Yeah, jumping was middling, but it didn't need to be.
I thought his jumping was okay. He's very aggressive. It seems the trend this season is these keen hurdlers are all turned into very, very good chasers, and he's another one. He might go to Ferriers for the 2.5 mile, the Grade 1 at Easter. Now, maybe he won't stay 2.5, but if he did, he'd have a right chance.
And the Grade 1 at Punchestown. And do you know who he reminds me an awful lot of? And I can't even remember the name of the horse now. Do you remember the horse that Jody McGarvey made the miraculous recovery in Leopardstown? And he went on to win the...
Greatfield, no?
Greatfield. Well done, Gavin. Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Greatfield. He's just a tearaway, isn't he?
Yeah. And there's plenty of tearaways in the article this year too.
There is, yeah.
Just to mention a trainer form, I mentioned on Saturday's article in the Racing Post about Gavin Cromwell and Nicky Henderson. So Gavin Cromwell came out on Saturday. His form up to that was poor, but he had 3 winners on Saturday and he had another winner on Sunday, so that means he's banging form again, which is good. Nicky Henderson is 0 from 18 in the last 14 days. So just keep it in mind as regards Constitution Hill, John Bond, etc., etc. Just he's not in the best form. Gordon Elliott had 4 winners between Sunday and Monday, so he's banging form. William Mullins had 8 winners on Saturday only.
Just the 8?
Just the 8. So Paul Nicholls is back in form again.
How do William Mullins have 8 winners on Saturday? Navan?
Since Saturday.
Oh, since Saturday. Right. You said on Saturday.
Oh, did I? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sorry.
Okay.
Paul Nicholls is 10 from 39, 26%
he's
the last
back.
one, so he's back.
Yeah.
Gavin Cromwell is back. Willie is flying. Gordon's flying. Henry de Bromhead 3 from 20, 15%. So just with Gordon and Willie in particular flying, I think the signs are ominous for those two at Cheltenham.
Okay. Hitting form at the right time, Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, it was a short the week that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about preview nights over the last week. So you were on a couple, I was on a couple, we watched a couple. So we've keeping our finger on the pulse with regard to preview nights. I suppose a couple of things that I learned was Gordon Elliott seemed very sweet on frontal assault, which would be good news to you. On a preview I did at Navan on Saturday. He's going to run loads in the Martin Pipe. Okay. He's going to his top bandit for the county hurdle, obviously one of your selections. The stable, it seems, both Gordon and Jack are very sweet on Riviere de Tel.
Right.
He was kind of one that I was surprised about how sweet they were on her.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
good chance she has.
She's got a good chance. And Manila Crooner, obviously, my banker of the whole week at the Cheltenham Festival is Manila Crooner. So I said this to Gordon. I was like, Manila Crooner, Gordon, how is he? He says he's grand. He says, you wouldn't want to see him working now. Okay. They can't get him to move in the gallops. But he said that's completely normal. Completely normal. Gavin, it's like you before you come on this show. You're sitting there on the couch.
We sore knee.
We can't get you to budge. And then you come in front of a camera and you just take off. So don't be worried about Manila Crooner's
We'll chat about it later on in the week, but I'd be against Manila Crooner, sorry.
What?
I would, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk on Thursday night.
You've been serious here?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Gordon brought 38 horses to Leopardstown yesterday.
Did you go?
I didn't.
You usually go.
And 27 today, Tuesday. So just an amazing string of horses. And the one horse he was most happy about was Tiger Roll. So that's great to see.
Yeah, Tiger Roll. Absolutely.
I think if I had to pick one horse to win next week, it'd be him just for
financial.
Well, I suppose financial too, but
letting on to be a nice fella when really you've got him in every bet you've done.
As regards what I heard on preview nights, look, you don't hear maybe a huge amount, but I think it's a great night out.
Yeah,
sure, it's better than sitting watching television.
Yeah.
The one in Barberstown Castle, Ruby said that there's no danger to the jolly in the bumper.
Facile Vega. Okay. Tom Siegel said he was the lay of the week on the preview I did for Racing Post, which you can watch online.
Also down in Waterford, I was on one and Darragh O'Keefe was there, and he just had a little twinkle in his eye. I thought about Dr. Brown Bear, the one that I've tipped up in the Boodles.
Are you just blowing your own trumpet here with all your tips?
No, genuine.
Okay.
I asked him, he was asked maybe about all his horse. He hopes to have 2 rides a day, and just we were chatting to him at the break, and he just thought of his rides, he thought maybe that might have an each way chance.
You're buying him free drink all night or something?
No.
Dr. Brown, because if Dr. Brown Bear wins, it's game over. You win up in the ante this year.
Well, yeah, sure, he probably won't win. Sure, Gaelic Warriors in it.
Yeah, Gaelic
Warriors
turns
and stuff.
Well, yeah. One interesting thing in that preview I did with Tom Siegel and Paul Keeley, which is very good, and the two boys, like I was sandwiched in between them. I was like horrible butter.
Were they picking on you?
I was like horrible butter in between 2 gorgeous slices of sourdough or something. I was like in the middle of them, but. I could not believe how sweet both of them were on Protectorate. Now, I didn't fancy Protectorate at all going into the studio on Sunday, but I came out of there going, do you know what? This horse has a big chance.
I suppose he has a chance, and his main attribute is that he's 7. Yeah. I always go for the younger horse.
Unexposed
typically.
over the trip.
Yeah. He hasn't done it at the top level yet. He's open to plenty of improvement. Where the pace in the race is going to come from, that's another huge topic for the Gold Cup. But Tech Trip maybe. I prefer Galvin, but there you go.
Yeah, and David Mullins would obviously, he's a cousin of Patrick. He says the best horse in Willie Mullins' yard is an Energumene. No doubts. Best horse in the yard is an Energumene. And he doesn't think we saw the real Energumene against Shishkin in the
It's hard to see past Shishkin, really, isn't it?
It is very hard. But I thought that was quite interesting.
And also that there was a little scare last week about Energumene, and Willie said I think he was laying for a day or two, and now he's fine. He went to Navan, I think, the week of Saturday.
He did, yeah.
And he worked there, so.
Yeah.
And, so...
Album photo and cheek pieces.
Okay. I just hope that there's no injuries, no matter what horse it is, between now and next week.
Or injuries to us as well. We want to get there in one piece.
Correct.
But that's what we've learned at the preview nights anyway.
Yeah, as I said, you probably won't learn a whole lot. Like Davey was at the one in Barberstown, and Davey's brilliant crack. Probably doesn't say too much, but it's always worth seeing him.
It certainly is. Is that the week that was?
Yep.
That was the week that was. Now, folks, so Cheltenham is fast approaching, so you have got to become a Racing Post member. Become a member of our Ultimate Club, and you get the first month for just $9.99. It's a bargain. It's a giveaway, Gavin. It was like back in Burning Victory at 33 to 1 for the Mayor's Hurdle. It is a bargain. It's $9.99 for the first month. You've got to become a member with Cheltenham fast approaching. $9.99 for the first month. Yes, so each week here on Upping the Ante, we preview one of the biggies at the Cheltenham Festival, and we're getting towards the end, Gavin. It's week 18. So this is our last individual preview of a race at the Cheltenham Festival, and it is the St. James's Place Hunter's Chase. No Fox this year.
No.
Hunter's Chase. Hunter's Chase. Okay, so your 3-1 favourite again is it's like rewinding back in time to 12 months ago and 24 months ago. Your 3-1 favourite is Billaway with Bet365. 13-2 is Wing Leader. 8-1 Bob and Co. And it's 12-1 Bar. And can I just reiterate that these are Ante-Post prices. It's not no bet. These are Ante-Post prices. There's 2 individual markets with Bet365 who have done a brilliant job. There is your no bet market and there is your Ante-Post market. So you don't get your money back if you back something in this and it doesn't run.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. 3-1 Billaway, Gavin.
Discuss.
Third time lucky.
Yeah.
He's not run either, actually.
No. Billaway, second to last twice. I think I back him both years. I'm not going to back him again.
Are you not?
No.
Not even a saver, just in case.
No. But he's got a great chance.
You know what's going to happen?
Did he win? Last year he went to Cheltenham, he went to Aintree where he was 5th, and then he went on to Punchestown where he was short-headed by Bob and Co. So he certainly has got great resolution. He just does make the odd mistake. He jumped much better than Ace the last day, but he did, I think it was maybe the 5th or 6th last, he made another mistake. But look at it, I suppose horses will make mistakes. The thing I find very fascinating about him is that he nearly jumps every fence slightly different.
Yeah.
He doesn't get into a rhythm. So I find that...
You said that to me before, and I think it's the perfect way of describing him. Like, you don't know if he's going to go long, go short, pop, get in tight. You just don't know.
Just watch him. He lunges at the odd one and stuff. I've tipped up Wing Leader just for a bit of value at 13-2, I think it was, or whatever at the time.
Still 13-2.
Is it?
Great price.
I think that's fine. I think he can get at least 5-1 around the houses. Has won his last 5, jumps very well, goes on any ground, beat Billaway at Thurles. Obviously, Billaway improves every year for a run. So that's why Billaway is favourite. I think Wing Leader's got a decent chance.
Yeah, I think, especially with ground, like if it does either dry out or if it gets really soft come the Friday, if there is rain during next week. Have you looked at the weather forecast?
Just for the
There's
next number
bits
of
of
days.
rain,
There's bits,
bits and pieces, nothing drastic, but bits and pieces. If the ground does soften, that's no problem anyway to Wing Leader. If it stays the way it is at the minute, he's fine. And he's the one real potential improver. Like, I don't think Billaway is going to be much better than he was the last 2 years, but I think Wing Leader is the one.
Look, it's very hard to go against Willie Mullins. Another thing that's in favour of Wing Leader is that he's only 8. The stats are that the age doesn't matter in the Fox Hunters or the Hunter's Chase because generally every horse in the race is at least 10 anyway. But I just think it's no harm that he's 8 years old, so he's open to a little bit of improvement. Yeah,
my selection earlier on in the series was Highway Jewel, who's also an 8-year-old mare. Now, she's entered, so I put her up, and then I got a tweet from somebody who seemed to know what he was talking about, saying, oh, she missed a piece of work, I don't know if she's going to go or she won't go. And I said, that's fair enough, sure. Another one bites the dust kind of thing. But she's entered, and I'm getting a little bit, and there's been a bit of money here and there for her. So I really do hope she runs, because I think she's got a massive chance. Good jumper, course form, and she's improving. I think she's got a massive chance she goes Highway Jewel.
Very good. Best of luck.
I thought it was interesting on Sunday in the Racing Post preview, Tom Siegel, who never ever tips favourites. Never ever tips favourites, fancies favourites, always looks towards the bottom of the market first, and he tipped Billaway.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. doctors, different patients die. David Maxwell is 3 of the top 7 in the bet, and he's got Bob and Co, he's got Cat Tiger, and he's got Shantou Flyer. So
best of those.
I presume he'll ride Bob and Co. Won at Punchestown, was travelling quite well for one of the bones coming down the hill last year, and unseated rider. This year, obviously, David will be riding it himself. I think Bob and Co is 8-1, so he must have a squeak, but.
You're happy enough, I think, by the sounds of things with Wing Leader 13.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be very disappointed if he's not, each way value at 5 or 6-1.
Yeah.
It's not the best race in the world, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not even the best race of the second half of Friday. I think. No. No, it's not. I'm actually a big Wing Leader fan as well. He was one of the ones when you tipped. I was like, oh God, I wish I got him into my team. So we're both big 13-2 Wing Leader fans. And Highway Jewel is the other one for me that I tipped earlier on the show. Is that the Hunter's Chase?
That's it.
That's the Hunter's Chase. So it's time for what's happening this week here on Upping the Ante, and it's all about Sandown on Saturday, which almost, Gavin, produced a Cheltenham Festival winner last year in the shape of Langer Dan, who could be going for the Imperial Cup once again. The feature race at Sandown on Saturday. Can he do the double?
Maybe. I think he won it last year off 130, he went up to 135, and then was second in the Martin Pipe, went up to 140, and then got dropped, as we all know, crazily last week for finishing last to 6. He's down to 137. So if he does win on Saturday, then he'll be up to 142 for the Martin Pipe, which obviously is a negative for his Martin Pipe chances. But very impressive last year. He won easy. So,
and he is reasonably well handicapped as well off 137, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's very well handicapped. I see Bet365 a standout price at 11-2, which if you fancy him, that's very, very fair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put somebody off.
Okay, that's Langer.
But it's a good race now. It's a very good race.
Yeah, I like one in the Imperial Cup.
Go on.
I do. And I've been thinking about this horse for this race for the best part of 3 months now, Gavin.
Okay.
A horse called Samarive. Now, my Upping the Stakes charity bet last week was on Tamarack de Matan, who was in the same colours, trained by Paul Nichols and ridden by Harry Cobden. He finished second.
Well
and we got 16-1. I think he went off about 4s.
Well done.
And I have a similar sort of horse this year. Same colours, same jockey, same trainer. It is Samarive.
Okay.
Samarive won at Sandown back in December off a mark of 130.
I think that was the same day as Constitution Hill.
Yeah, absolutely bolted up, okay? Bolted up. Went up £11 for that and ran, I think, 14 or 12 days later in the Betfair Exchange Trophy. And to me, it would have been a fortnight later. To me, it was just back too soon, too quick, too big of a hike. And the race didn't really suit him at Ascot. He's down £2 to mark of 139 now. I'm sure, I've no idea, but I'm sure Paul Nichols has had this race in mind all season.
And his horse are in better form.
His horse are in better form. This Samarive, to me, has the Imperial Cup written all over him. I think Sandown does suit his style of running. I can see him kind of sweeping up wide on the home turn, and the home straight at Sandown will suit him. If it does, get deeper at Sandown, that'll be fine. He won on heavy ground in France. And I just, even first time out this season at Cheltenham, or was it first time out this season at Cheltenham, but at the November meeting at Cheltenham, just thought he'd travel like a really, really good horse in a strong race. And to me, 10-1 Bet365, Samarive, I think he's got a massive chance. We've also got the novices.
Just to mention two other horses in that race, David, if you don't mind. No, you're grand. Annie Harmon Askin is 5-1.
No harm at all.
He's 2 out of 2 in the handicaps. He bolted up the last day off 127. He's now off 137. He famously is the horse who beat Constitution in his point-to-point Tipperary that time.
He could end up being, like in 10 years' time, he could be the famous question. Name the only horse ever in any form of racing to have beaten Constitution Hill. Could be Annie Harmon Askin.
But he's worth mentioning. Also, Balco Coastal. I gave it a good chance last week in the Moore Battle. Didn't run, but he's in here off 134. Dropping back down to, say, 2 mile. He didn't stay 2.5 the last day. So it's a very, very good Imperial Cup. Very good Imperial Cup. Earlier on the card, we've got the novices handicap hurdle final. And Thunder Rock in here for Ollie Murphy. The only time he's been beaten this season, Gavin, was by Might Eye at Newton Abbott. So he's won 3 in a row. He's still off 129. I think he's still well handicapped, Thunder Rock, and I think it could be 4 in a row for Thunder Rock for Ollie Murphy. Give him a bit of confidence going into the Cheltenham Festival. I thought maybe Nappers Hill would have a chance. Paul Nichols back in form. It's in here off 135. Yes. 1-2 bumpers was 2 out of 2 over hurdles. Third to John Bond, then 6th in the Betfair hurdle. First time to step up and trip if it runs. Yeah, wouldn't want really soft ground now. No, but I just wonder, would the step up and trip bring a bit of improvement? He's 8-1. Good shout, yeah. That's the Imperial Cup. Anything else you like at Sandown? That was the novice hurdle final. Listed Mayor's bumper? The Listed Mayor's bumper, yeah. Mullenbeg must have a strong chance. Willie has got 2 entered, Ashrow Diamond and Ava Grace. But Mullenbeg was very impressive, particularly at Cheltenham, so She must have a strong chance.
Okay. Will you? Is Saturday a day you'll watch racing, or will you be out cycling or something?
Sure, we'll have to try and stay busy anyway. So not to be thinking about next week too much.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It whets the appetite a little bit. It's actually a decent card this year on Saturday. Yeah, so there you go. That's what's happening this week, is it? That's what's happening this week. It's Upping the Stakes time, Gavin. Upping the Stakes time. And we nice little tidy return last week.
Well done, you.
You did non-runner. So that's fine. €50 into the kitty. We're happy with that, okay? And I had 25 quid each way on Tamarack the Matan at 16-1.
Just when we played safe and went each way.
Yeah, absolutely. I listened to you, Gavin.
The odd time.
Yeah, I have to say, no, it was a good shout by you to go each way. Finished second in the Great Wood Gold Cup.
Good pick. The price went off.
Yeah, it was well beaten in the end, but he ran his race, so I was happy enough. Went off much, much shorter, Tamarack the Matan. So we got 125 quid back into the kitty.
Excellent.
Nice little profit for the charity. So there you go. We're trying to raise some much needed funds for Cancer Trials Ireland, and we'll also have selections for Cheltenham as well, Gavin.
Excellent.
On Sunday night for people. Good. So there you go. Okay, so this week, Gavin, bit of confidence before Cheltenham. Let's give us a charity bet winner.
I just love the horse Mullenbeg. I think she's a super mare. She won a bumper in Ludlow, and that race has worked out well. She came on to Cheltenham. She travelled strongly. She came around them on the outside, and she bolted up, to be honest.
She did bolt.
The third horse has ran well since. She won by 5.5 lengths. She's 13-8 at the minute with some firms. I think that's fair enough. Will Ashrow Diamond come over to represent Willie? She ran a cracker at the Dublin Racing Festival.
Yeah.
Just chinned in the Grade 2 mares bumper, so she'd be a big rival. But I think Mullenbeg from Milton Harris, that'll do for me.
What type of price are we talking about?
13-8 at the minute.
It's okay. Happy days. If she wins, Mullenbeg for Gavin Lynch is this week's charity bet, and I'm going for Samareve. 225 Sandown Saturday. Samareve 10-1 with Bet365. I still think that's a bit of value. Will I go each way?
I do go each way.
Do you know what? I'm going to win. Gavin, it's the week before Cheltenham. 50 quid on the nose on Samareve. We'll try and get 500. Imagine getting 550 quid for Cancer Trials Ireland. Wouldn't it be fantastic?
Yeah, it might even save you doing the cycle this year.
Yeah, it might get me out of that. So there you go. 50 quid on the nose. Samareve in the Imperial Cup, the 225 at Sandown on Saturday. It's Ante-Post picks time here on Upping the Ante, and this is our second last pick. We've only got 2 left, Gavin.
Yes.
So we've got a pick today, and we've got a pick on Sunday night. So choose wisely, choose carefully, don't throw anything away. Okay, well, I go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is something which I wouldn't advise. Right. It's putting the same horse up again. Okay. What did it say? What's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm obviously insane, right? Because I am tipping up Might Eye for the second time. Earlier on in the show, one of my first picks was Might Eye for the Ballymore. And my thinking was that he had won at Newton Abbott over 2 miles. He was going to beat a horse called
Constitution Hill.
I thought he was going to beat Constitution Hill, and then Constitution Hill ended up being the next Sprinter Sacre. So little did I know, okay? Yeah. So with Might Eye, okay, he has ended up getting a mark of 135. And that is, to me, a nice bit below his level of ability, okay? So my thinking for the Martin Pipe is, all his form, he won over at Newton Abbott over 2 mile 2, but his form against Constitution Hill and John Bon, and he ran a cracker against John Bon, was over 2 miles. But he's a half-brother to Statler, and he's a half-brother to Binge Drinker. Statler obviously is favoured for the National Hunt Chase. Binge Drinker won a load of times over 3 miles. I don't think Might Eye is a pace horse. I think he's a stayer. And even when you go back to the bumper, when he ran it against No Risk at All, Good Risk at All, what's Sam Thomas' horse called?
Good Risk at All.
Good Risk at All?
Yeah.
Good Risk at All. When he ran against him at Newbury, he wasn't right that day, but he travelled like a dream. I don't think he's an instant turn of foot. I think he's more a gradual kind of staying type of horse. And he's rated 135. He's number 59 on the list at the minute, but there's a lot above him. I went through them and I found about 18 at the moment that are not going to run. So it's going to get close for
I'd say you should get in.
Might Eye. You want to get into 4 of the last 6. And just one key thing here that just dawned on me as I was driving in today. Lorcan Murta always rides Might Eye, okay? Lorcan Murta will be one of the best conditions in this race. Rides a lot for Harry Fry. Broke his leg back in January. Was believed to be out for about 2 months. So fingers crossed, Lorcan Murta will make it back. Because what a fabulous story this would be if he made it back in time to ride Might Eye in the Martin Pipe. Knows the horse inside out. And that is massive. In this race, if you have a jockey who knows the horse, I think that's big, big deal. First time stepping up to this sort of trip. He's 18-1 with Bet365. I think on his run behind John Bon, he's a very well handicapped
The John Bon farm has worked out.
It has worked out.
Yeah,
I thought.
Now I know
Richmond Lake, obviously, the horse that was well behind him, one that won on Saturday. Richmond Lake Ran a funny sort of race. Probably went too quick, went too early at Kelso on Saturday. But that to me is good form. The form behind Constitution Hill, I think, is still good form because he was miles clear of the third. He was caught on the hop that day by a brilliant horse. And Might Eye, to me, off 135, I think is one of the best handicapped horses in Britain. So Might Eye, 18-1. He's in there for the Ballybor, but now he's in for the Martin Pipe. So hopefully Might Eye will go for the Martin Pipe. If you're watching, Harry, please. There you go.
That's it. I'm going to go.
Where are you going? What race are you going for?
Well, I was going to tip up the Nice Guy for the Bartlett at 12-1. And then I was about to start writing the paragraph and I said, there's a couple of horses I want to go and check. Because sometimes Bet365 give bigger prices maybe than some other firms. So I went in and I checked, what do you call my horse? Frontal Assault for the...
your horse. Eddie, I thought Eddie, I might get on them.
Frontal Assault for the Kim Muir. And I thought to myself, maybe if they went 6-1, I might tip him up. They were 11-2 Ante-Post. So I thought about it. And then I went in and looked at the Pertemps. And Winter Fog is like 5 or 6-1 with everybody. And they were 13-2 NRMB with Bet365, but they're 8-1 Ante-Post. Now, Emmett Mullen said the other day that he goes to the Pertemps. So I just said, she's 8-1. I couldn't believe it. So I'm going for Winter Fog at 8-1 for the Pertemps.
Okay, tell viewers why.
So it was on my mind for ages. Would I tip him up? But I didn't know whether he was going to go to the Coral Cup or the Martin Pipe. Because one little thing, in fairness, is that, and we'll talk about it in a minute, the race at Christmas, the 3-miler, does he definitely stay 3 miles? So that's why I didn't tip him up before now for the Pertemps. Kevin Blake, who's a lovely chap, did the cycle last year, great guy. He tipped him up the other day, so his price collapsed a little bit.
Is this plagiarism?
No. He's been on my mind for ages, but I just thought he might go to Coral Cup or the Martin Pipe. So his price now at 8-1, I think, is still very good value because Emmett, since Kevin tipped it up, has said that he's going to the Pertemps. So that's one reason. He was trained by Daniel Murphy. He won a maiden hurdle at Limerick where he beat Captain Kangaroo, so he's decent form. He's only had the one run for Emmett, which was in the Pertemps qualifier at Christmas, where he finished second off 128. He travelled very, very strongly. Now, the time of the race was 6 minutes, 7 seconds, but Danny got there an hour too soon. Danny wasn't as canny as normal at Christmas. He nearly took it up at the second last, so that won't happen again. Is he definitely going to stay 3 miles? Maybe, but I'd say turning in the Pertemps, he'd be trading at 2-1 or even money. I've backed him, and I'll definitely give myself a free bet because I'm going to lay him at even money and run on the day because I think he'll travel so strongly. Sorry, De Burley is top weight at 156 is going to carry 11 stone 12. So Winter Fog was number 20 on the list, definitely gets in. He's carrying 10 stone 8. That's a gorgeous weight. He's only had the one run for Emmett. Last year, I fancied the shunter. Never tipped him up on the ante. I don't know why I didn't. So I don't want to miss the boat again this year with the same connections.
This operation is very good, Paul Byrne and Emmett Mullins. What they did with the shunter last year was fantastic.
Yeah, so change of trainer and stuff like that. Emmett's had a quiet time, but he did have a winner last Thursday in Clonmel, so that's a bit of a boost to the yard. So yeah, Winter Fog, he's an 8-year-old. He's carrying a nice weight. He will travel brilliant. I just, fingers crossed, he definitely stays the 3 mile. But I think 8-1 is definitely good value.
Okay. You're seeing the Pertemps clearly through the Winter Fog, are you?
Correct.
Yeah, do you like that? That was pro, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Winter Fog, 8-1 for Gavin Lynch is his latest selection in the Pertemps final. That's it. Those are our penultimate selections, Gavin. We've only got one to go. It's getting serious now.
It is.
But it is Winter Fog for Gavin in the Pertemps final. And it is Might Eye for me for a second time in the Martin Pipe. So that is it for episode 18 of Upping the Ante. But fear not, you don't have to wait a week to see us again. Oh no, we are back on a computer screen near you on Thursday night. If you're planning on going to the cinema, don't. If you're planning on having a romantic dinner, don't. Well, you can watch us underneath the table. Yeah. Just pretend you're looking at your wallet. But we're going to be on your screens on Thursday night with Gary O'Brien, the voice of Irish racing. He's going to be here alongside Gavin Lynch, two of the shrewdest, the best judges in Irish racing. You're going to hear their views on every race at the Cheltenham Festival here on Thursday night. And we're going to have Pat Cooney from our sponsors, Bet365. We're going to have a ball, Gavin, aren't we?
Yeah, no, it'll be good, yeah. Looking forward to chatting with Gary.
Are you looking forward to it, yeah?
Yeah, he's a great chap, so yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a very good opinion.
Two shrewd judges side by side. The voice of Irish racing and the voice of Upping the Ante side by side. Just for you. It's Thursday night and we'll be back on Sunday night as well, where we will be previewing day one of the Cheltenham Festival after declarations, and me and Gavin will have our final picks for this series of Upping the Ante.
Be a lot of excitement on Sunday morning around 10:30 or whatever when we see is it Sir Gerhard or Dysart Dynamo and a few other bits and pieces to see who's going on Tuesday. So that'll be
absolutely interesting. And Cheltenham on Tuesday, Gavin. I'd say even you that doesn't usually go to Cheltenham, you must be excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mental atmosphere next Tuesday, yeah. Like there was obviously nobody there last year. There's a huge pent-up demand. It's the most popular 4 days of the year. So I think Tuesday could be quite mental.
Will you give a cheer just less than 4 minutes before Constitution Hill wins the Supreme?
Actually, you'll have to get involved in the roar, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, the roar.
But I'd say they could even have a roar with the horse coming into the parade ring the way it's going.
I'd say they'll have a roar when Gavin Lynch entered the building.
It'll be good now. It'll be a massive crowd. What, 60,000 people is it? So
yeah, absolutely.
It'll be an atmosphere like none else.
Yeah, it certainly will. But before then, Thursday night and Sunday night, myself and Gavin will be back on your screens. But that was it for episode 18 of Upping the Ante in association with Bet365. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. Thanks for watching. And if you are having a bet for the rest of this week, don't forget to gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Thanks for watching.